Episode of Pokemon Knowledge. For any of you guys that are just finding this channel for the first time, I'm PK, and I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of a warning before I do this video. This video is not going to be for everybody, so if you don't like some of these type of discussions talking about more the morality in Pokemon, it's probably not your video, so I'm giving you fear warning right now. Just click off the video, hit that little X, hit the dislike button on your way out. It will probably make you feel a lot better because, to believe it or not, the morality discussion in Pokemon is not a new conversation. And in fact, this conversation was going on a lot, especially in 2020. And there was all the Frosted Caribou videos that happened talking about all the scalpers. People were going against the LGSs. People were going against pack breakers. They were doing, the gambling aspect. And Pokemon has this weird way where everything kind of just goes back in a big circle. And one of the arguments a lot of people were making during 2020 and 2021, especially when it came to the potential morality, a lot of people were saying, well, there's so much money going on in Pokemon. Well, what happens when the money starts to dry up a little bit? Will you see people start to pivot and do the more morality questionable plays? And we've seen that now play out on a pretty crazy scale throughout this hobby. But the reason I'm actually going to make this video today is it's a topic I wanted to talk about. And shout out to Opossum Bud. Opossum Bud already touched base on it. And he talked about the video Twice Baked Jake recently put out. And listen, I don't know the exact proper way to phrase this because I don't want to throw shade at Jake in any way, but there is a long conversation to be had with what happened. And so pretty much I just give you the rundown. So the title of Jake's video was Now I Understand Pack Breaking. And I think it pissed off a lot of people. I think that is the nicest way to put it because in the video he goes through the psychology of the pack opening experience and all that stuff. But I think what really it boils down to is it just pissed off a lot of people because it challenged their intelligence. Because the title of that video is Now I Understand Pack Opening. And it's as if he flipped the dime and now he understands this is why people want to open packs because it's so exciting. You could pull the newest chase. Maybe you don't have somebody that you could open up packs with at home and you want to still be part of that community experience and you want to have somebody do it. And sure, maybe you can make the argument that all those have a little bit of merit to each one of them. But that's not the absolute truth. And I'm going to make a caveat right now. Everything I say in today's video, everything I've said earlier, everything that I will say in today's video is my opinion and my alone. But what Jake should have just said in that video is the reason he now understands the pack opening experience is because he's, in my opinion, getting a huge paycheck from Whatnot in order to say that. That's why I told you at the beginning of this video, this isn't going to be for everybody. And I promise you, it's not going to get better from here on out if you don't like this hot take. But it's probably going to get a lot worse for you. So I'm telling you, if you don't like this type of video, if you don't want to hear my true thoughts on stuff, especially pack opening and, using your platform to open packs for other people and all the morality that comes with that, I'm telling you right now, this is not the video for you. And if this is going to be one of those videos that is going to work you up or make you bothered in any way, I'm giving you fair, ample warning to please, please just exit out of this video right now and save yourself whatever pain you might feel if you do not like this take. But I'm telling you, what happened in that video was very simple. Jake is now, in my opinion, getting paid by Whatnot to open on their platform because Whatnot had to look at what happened recently with the whole Blake's Break stuff and all the tarnished names that are now happening on the Whatnot platform. You have a ton of really sketchy sellers. What seemed to be back to back to back were doing really questionable things. The gambling that was on Whatnot seemed, in my opinion, to really start to run rampant. And from trust and safety, it doesn't seem like they were able to catch all these scammers. And we're seeing all the videos Rattle put out. And there's a sad reality to this hobby. And Rattle's touched base on it on a ton of videos. And the sad reality is Rattle on so many videos said if he wanted to, he can make a video every single day on somebody scamming on Whatnot. And that was word from word. That's not my opinion. That is from what Rattle has said. And the sad reality is that because, when the money starts to dry up and you can't potentially just open up a pack and sell it for a huge premium, because keep in mind, when the Whatnot platform really kicked off and a lot of these live stream pack opening type platforms really kicked off, at the time, you can go in and you can pick up packs from the Walmart shelf. So you're literally paying the definition of MSRP. Or you could go in and you could clear out your Walmarts or your Targets or your Best Buy. And you can take those packs. You could just leave Best Buy or GameStop, go right home, set up your Whatnot live stream, and you can sell those same packs that you literally just bought at MSRP from GameStop. You could go home and sell those cards for a crazy premium, because that's how the market was just interacting with any set. Literally battle styles. You go pick up a pack of battle styles for $3.99, go home and sell it for a premium. That, premium dried up. So then people really had to start to say, okay, well, I don't have the premium of opening these packs anymore. Now I need to find another way to make money. And a way they were able to make more money is where the morality starts to be questioned, is start to do those carnival type games, start to do those raffle type games, start to do the really questionable bounty type games. And then all people were doing, in my opinion, as the streamer, is you're preying on people's absolute definition of gambling, because they're going to pay a huge premium in order to win that bounty. The problem is where the morality really comes into that one, you're preying on people's potential gambling addictions. The second morality that happened is you have to, in order to run stuff legit and run stuff morally, you have to have a moral compass. I've showed on I don't know how many videos at this point, or how many different lives. If somebody wanted to, it's very, very, very easy, in my opinion, to resale packs, to do shady stuff on screen, to swap out stuff, to take hits out, to search packs, and things that I've now showed on damn near a dozen videos. I don't even know how many. If Whatnot if Whatnot was scamming you, this is what it might look like. And I've tried the show on so many different examples of how that could potentially happen. And I was doing that way before a lot of the headline, Blake's Break stuff really hit the news. I was making if Whatnot was scamming you type videos from the first week that Whatnot was a platform. I was not late to this train of going after Whatnot, because all I was doing was calling out the things that I thought were very questionable, the things that I thought could very easily be manipulated. But the problem is Whatnot, there's a dark area of the hobby now. Whatnot as a whole, as a platform, has a very tarnished name. So I'm going to do my best to give the unbiased with my still biased opinion. So from the unbiased opinion that I could give from Whatnot is, if you are sitting in the Whatnot corporate office and you're saying, okay, we got all this shit going on with the Blake's Break stuff, that really tarnished our name. We have a lot of examples recently of people scamming, magicians literally doing sleight of hands with cards and stuff like this. How can we save ourselves? How can we save the brand? And I think one of the ways they look to save the brand is they're going to go after certain people. And one of those people who has a very untarnished name in this hobby is a Twice Baked Jake. So they probably, in my opinion, threw a decent amount of money at him. The problem is when Jake makes that video and he says, I now understand the why people like to open packs, I think it just rubbed people the wrong way. Like I mentioned earlier, it just challenges people's intelligence. When the reality is, and in my opinion, is that he now understands the pack opening experience because they just threw a lot of money at him. I'm going to give you guys some numbers, and you can think that I'm making these up, but right hand to God, these are numbers I've actually heard from real people. So I'm not going to mention any names because the people who are going to be involved probably don't want their name mentioned in it, but I'm going to just tell you some numbers. Just a little bit of food for thought, a little bit of sprinkle the fish food into the bowl for you. And I'm going to give you something to really think about. So when Whatnot first kicked off as a platform, they were looking for a lot of like bigger names in this hobby and people who, they considered had really big collections, potentially really big vintage collections, and people that they want to come bring on to live stream on the platform. And for one of the people who kept turning down Whatnot, because this person was always was already an established person in the hobby, was already a well-respected person in the hobby, didn't need to stream on Whatnot. They weren't enticed enough to be on it. So the story I heard, and again, this is all anecdotal, but from the person I heard it from, the person who it is, it's true. And so pretty much Whatnot reached out to this person. That person said, hey, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to pass. I'm not interested. The owner of Whatnot heard that happened, and then it made the owner of Whatnot, like whatever, from an ego trip or whatever he was on, just because that person turned down like a big contract to stream on Whatnot. There was a bounty that existed to get that person just to come on to Whatnot and stream. Okay? A bounty. If you don't know what a bounty is, it means literally, let's say you're my friend and Whatnot wanted me to stream on the platform. I said to Whatnot, no, I don't want to live stream on Whatnot. I'm not interested in it. But you as my friend, if you're able to talk me into going on that platform to stream, you would get like a finder's fee or a bounty in a way. So you would get a finder's fee just for talking me into going on and live streaming on that platform. You literally didn't have to do anything except for just talk me into it. The amount of money that was offered just for the finder's fee to get this person to stream onto Whatnot, the number I heard was $50,000. Yes, you heard that number. That's a little bit of food for thought for you. So now, do I think all these people are getting these huge numbers? No. But at one time, when Whatnot was first starting as a platform and they were really trying to grab a hold of the big name, the finder's fee, not the contract for that person. I didn't say anything about the contract. I said just the finder's fee. To be that person's friend and talk them into going onto a platform that they didn't want to live stream on. The number I heard was $50,000 finder's fee. So there was a time when Whatnot first started that they were throwing around a lot of money. Where these numbers are today, I don't think that they're nearly even in the ballpark, anywhere as close to what they were at the very beginning when Whatnot was really trying to kick off. Because when they were kicking off, you want to bring in like your biggest name, like most trusted people in the entire hobby. The problem is those biggest names, most trusted people in the hobby, they've already like established themselves in other areas, whether that's live streaming on YouTube or live streaming on Twitch or live streaming on Instagram or live streaming on whatever other platform, or they've already built out like, their websites, and they've already built out their eBays, or they've already built out other stuff, or they've already have this entire infrastructure of what you would consider a Pokemon business that already existed, so there was no need for Whatnot. But Whatnot went really went really hard at these people. So from an unbiased opinion, I'm going to at least do my best to say, okay, like I understand why Whatnot is reaching out to people. I personally, it will be a fucking cold day in hell that I'll ever live stream on Whatnot. And when I say cold day in hell, literally hell would have to freeze over for me to go and live stream on Whatnot. I've been reached out to. Like, I have a relatively small channel, but I've been reached out to by other live streaming platforms like Drip. Drip has reached out to me to go live stream. You know what I did? I didn't even respond back. Zero. Absolutely nothing. That was my response to them. Like, I have no, like, want or need to live stream on any of these platforms. If anything, if I wanted to, I would live stream on my own channel, but I don't want to do it because I just feel that the morality of that, I question it too much. Now, I'm not going to shit on like live streaming in general. Listen, I got a lot of friends that live stream on a lot of different platforms, and like I get it. The only problem is where the morality I think gets brought into the twice baked Jake thing is one, the platform he's now streaming on has had a lot of issues that happened in the past. I think it is I think there is a proper way that people can go about like live streaming on those platforms. I think the first thing you have to do is you can't pretend like scamming never happened. You can't like just hide behind the fact of the platform and be like, it's such a great platform, it's so well respected, it's the number one live streaming platform, and just like a real quick, Ernie, appreciate you being a channel member. You can't just hop onto that and be like, oh, it's the greatest platform ever. There's been nothing wrong with it ever. Shout out the number one mod in the game, just gifted 20 channel memberships. Appreciate you. You can't do that. You can't just pretend like everything's all rainbows and sunshine. You know, if you're going to go about it, you have to at least address the elephant in the room and being like, listen, I understand that all this stuff has happened in the past, and these are the reasons, in my opinion, you should be giving Whatnot another try. And not pretending like this shit didn't exist. And then that second thing you can't do is you can't challenge people's intelligence, like I said earlier, and say, I now understand why people like pack breaks because it's so fun for people. You have to just be like, I'm getting a huge paycheck to live stream on this platform. Like, that's it. I feel people are too afraid to just say the truth. And sometimes the truth can be liberating for a lot of people. Now, the same way as I just said, there'll be a cold day in hell if I ever stream on Whatnot. I never will. Be a cold day in hell before I ever stream on a drip. Never going to do it. But I'll tell you right now, if eBay Live ever did become a thing, better bet your ass I'll stream on eBay Live. And one, 100% transparency, eBay Live never reached out to me to live stream. I have no way to live stream on eBay Live. Shout out to eBay if you're out there. I will stream on that platform, but that's the thing. I will be very clear to people like why I'm doing it. If I were to ever stream on eBay Live, it's going to be for money. Sorry. Like that would be the reason. I would live stream on eBay Live because shit right now is selling for crazy premiums on eBay Live. I've hopped into some of the lives just to see the prices stuff are selling at. Single cards selling for crazy premiums, especially raw cards, crazy. PSA 9s, crazy. PSA 8s, crazy. PSA 10s, crazy. CGC cards, crazy. Beckett cards, crazy. Seal product, crazy. Single packs, crazy. Specialty products, you name it. But I would be as transparent as possible. But that's the thing. It's not happening right now. I don't even know how to stream on eBay Live, even if I wanted to. I can't even reach out to eBay. I don't have a relationship with eBay like other people do. But you better bet your ass I would stream on eBay Live. But like, that's it. It's just 100% transparency. And I would tell everyone on my channel, don't buy shit when it's overpriced. It's very simple. But like, that would be like that's the problem too, and that's where the morality aspect comes in. And I think one of the biggest driving factors of morality is, you know, in a way, everybody has like a price. And I think that's like the old morality conversation that was had in Pokemon, and we call it old now, which is 4 years old, is, you know, there's things that I don't like when it comes to like, I'm very anti monetizing my viewers. Like, I don't like doing it. Whether you know it or not, channel memberships, wow, shout out. I appreciate everyone that drops it, you know, joins some channel membership, drops their free memberships. That was something I was very, very late to when it came to YouTube because I felt like a morality problem. I didn't want to monetize my viewers. You know, the things that I enjoyed, like eBay links, because those are, like you click on those links, what are they called? Affiliate links. I always liked affiliate links because I felt affiliate links, like, if you don't want to support somebody, you literally just don't click on the link. Like, it doesn't take money from anybody. I always like the very passive stuff, but people don't know I also didn't even monetize my channel. So you can monetize your like a YouTube channel at at 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I monetized my channel at 1,400 subscribers, and I already had like a ton of watch hours. Originally, the plan of this channel was I wasn't even going to monetize this channel. And the only reason I monetized this channel at 1,400 subscribers is because I went back and I watched a video of mine, which was a very successful video, and I was like, what did I say in this video to make this video go quote unquote like viral? And for viral for me at the time was like a couple thousand views. So I went on my alt account, I clicked on my video, and as soon as I clicked on it, an ad started playing. I said, why is an ad playing on my video? I don't even have my channel monetized, but YouTube was playing ads because if videos hit a certain amount of viewers, ads would already play, and then that was the point where I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start to monetize my YouTube channel. But I always was super worried about that, just because I always felt icky, like the morality of it, and I think that's a tough thing for a lot of people to get past. And I don't think the morality issue in Pokemon is ever going to like die off that conversation. There's a morality even in like the mystery packs and stuff. You know, people like to I know a lot of people personally that do mystery packs. The problem with mystery packs is you could call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, mystery packs are and mystery products are designed with one like intention, one sole purpose in mind above all others. Mystery packs are made to make money for the person that created those. That's it. They are a vehicle to make money. And for the people that are not making money on mystery packs, the reason they're probably not making money on mystery packs is they're literally moving through their inventory that they cannot sell. So maybe they'll make like a $20 mystery pack and they'll put like a field grading play in there, a card that they wouldn't be able to move otherwise. So even though the value might technically be, you know, worth it for the mystery pack, they're just moving all their field plays to you. The morality behind mystery packs is really, really crazy. And the hardest part when it comes to morality is you're not going to be able to change the mind and you're not going to be able to change the opinion of consumers. It's just like when you walk into your local Walmart or you walk into your local Walgreens, especially famous for mystery packs. You go in and you see these mystery packs hanging on the wall, and it used to at one point before vintage packs got crazy, it was like vintage packs seeded 1 out of every 10, and you at least had a little bit of an understanding of what your chances of pulling a like chase pack was. Now a lot of these mystery packs have gotten to where they don't even have odds anymore. They're not 1 out of 10 to pull a mystery pack. They're now just there'll be like a little thing that says, you know, like vintage packs randomly seeded. So instead of saying 1 out of 10, it's now just randomly seeded, meaning that the chances of pulling one of those vintage packs could in theory be like 1 out of 200, 1 out of 500, 1 out of 1,000. You don't know because they've now removed those odds out of the equation, so you don't even know. And the problem is, and where I say you won't be able to change the mindset of the consumers because that shit sells every single day. There's some mystery power cube selling from Walmart every day. There's some random mystery pack selling on some shelf of some Walgreens across the country every single day. That's the problem. You can't change the mindset of the consumer. And the problem is where the morality comes in when you're looking at this stuff from the outside looking in. What is the dangers in all this? I think that's the question. It's like, why do you care? I think a lot of people are, the people that are the hate watchers right now, who I literally warn them to turn this video off if this video is not for them. The hate watchers right now are probably going to be at home typing on their keyboard, why the fuck does this matter to you, PK? Why do you even care about the morality? Why are you talking about mystery packs? Why are you talking about people spending crazy packs on whatnot? They're grown people. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's their money. And I get it. That's the argument people want to put them. The problem is like when you bring in the morality, when you're just it's just it feels so gross because those people are they're just constantly like pulling money out of this hobby. They're just constantly like draining people of their money. And it's tough. Like that's why morality, like what is the definition of morality? Morality is good versus bad, wrong versus right. There is no like sure, you might want to say like in your head there's just a very simple definition of what is good, there's a very simple definition of what is bad, there's a very simple definition of what is wrong, very simple definition of what is right. But the problem is what's wrong or right or good or bad, it's just even that is a gray area because nobody's even going to be able to agree on what is actually good or bad. Everyone's just going to have their own opinions to it, and then that's where the whole morality things comes in. And it's just a matter of like how much can be extracted from people nonstop, how much money could constantly be pulled from people. And I'm seeing it happen just more and more every single day, the amount of money that is just being extracted from people. And I don't know. I don't know what like the right answer is, and it, you know, I think the first part of it is you have to be as transparent as possible. You have to like let people know like what the true intentions are, and I think probably the thing that feels grossest to me and the thing that probably it bothers me the most, especially with the twice baked Jake thing, where I just told you like in my opinion the reality of the matter is it's a paycheck for him. He's getting paid. He's getting a nice payday. He's not doing this shit for free. He's not doing this out of the kindness of his heart. In my opinion, no matter what he says, like he could have did this a long time ago out of the kindness of his heart. It's for money. And I think the problem is just it just feels I guess what bothers me the most is it will be for money, it will be for a check, it will be for their own gain, but they'll phrase it in a way that it's for the community. And that word is just about as it's like ash in your mouth when you say it. Like you could feel it like ash in your mouth. Like it's just it tastes bad when you speak the word community now in Pokemon. And the sad thing is that the word community has been so tainted in this hobby. It has been dragged through the mud. The word community. It literally gives you the taste of ash in your mouth because while people will be doing stuff, they'll always portray it, no matter what, is that they're doing it for the community. They're not doing it for themselves. It's never a selfish reason that people are doing this. Like, people aren't doing these mystery products for themselves. They're doing it for you as the consumer because they want to give you an option. They want to give you an ability to, get this vintage pack. They want to give you the ability to get this great mystery product. They want to open up your packs and have you participate in bounties and pay high secondary market prices because they're doing it for you, for the community, because they're allowing you to partake in this. And I guess that's the thing that always bothered me the most. I don't know. But it's just but it goes back to the whole I guess it's like a contradictory statement. Like I just told you. If the opportunity ever comes available, which it's not, shout out to eBay. If they ever want to slide into my DMs, you're welcome to. I would stream on eBay Live. I would 100%. But make no mistake about it. It would be because for money. And I think the problem is, too, is I think a lot of people in this hobby, at the end of the day, like, everybody has probably a price, too. Now, what that price is for every person is going to vary drastically. It's going to vary from the very, very low end to the very, very high end. And then I guess it's why it's contradictory. It's like, well, if the option ever did come available to me, the stream on eBay, why would I do it? It's like, one, because I think that eBay is a good platform because it offers two things that other platforms don't really offer. Is one, you have buyer protection through eBay, but number two is eBay has decent seller protection too. And if you're like, oh no, eBay sucks for seller protection, no, it doesn't. Like eBay, especially with the eBay Vault right now, if you sell anything through the eBay Vault, and this is not a sponsored video by eBay, I'm just telling you, like, I enjoy eBay. I enjoy the platform. I enjoy like what management is running eBay. I believe they're running it in the right direction. Like I love the platform. I love the fact that eBay everything's sold through the eBay Vault. One, that's buyer protection because you know that the product that's going to be sent to you from eBay Vault is going to be authentic. It's going to be verified, double checked. As a seller, you know that you're not going to get returns from it. Like the eBay International Shipping Program. Oh my God. And what a beautiful thing. Like, there's nothing better than the eBay International Shipping Program. You don't have to worry about shipping stuff overseas internationally. If it gets a return, like, you're safe as a seller. eBay standard envelopes, whatever they, 64 cents, I think they're up to right now for eBay standard envelopes. Like, literally the cost of a stamp, but you get tracking with it. I love that shit. Like, I like eBay. I like it as a platform. So if I ever got an opportunity to stream on a platform that I actually enjoyed, that I like respected, that I like the growth of eBay right now, and then especially even just we talked about the eBay Vault, but then did I even mention like eBay authenticity guarantee? eBay, look at me right now, just shilling your platform for you. If you're out there, eBay, feel free to slide into my DMs anytime you want because I'm shilling your platform absolutely for free. But even the eBay authenticity guarantee, it's just fantastic, both as the buyer and seller. Like, I like the direction eBay's going in, but like that's where the contradictory aspect could go. And the problem is too is when you talk about morality, like one of the things I talk about on this channel all the time, and something that I struggle with. I'm being honest with you, I struggle with this all the time, and sometimes it makes me want to like not make videos because I struggle with it. Is you know, talking about Pokemon as an investment or a something that you can flip or make money on, like for a lot of people out there, the thought of that, just flipping Pokemon cards, making money on their hobby, because for a lot of people, Pokemon is just something they love, and I promise you, I love Pokemon as much, if not more, than most people that have ever walked this earth in history. Like, there's some people though that are just so true, and that anybody who ever talks about like anything being being investable and not just collectible, like that, the same way as I said the word community is puts like the taste of ash in people's mouth, the same way as talking about Pokemon as being investable, just that puts a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I struggle with the morality too because I'm talking about like the things I'm doing. And I'm talking about race the bottom plays. Things that have played out extremely well in like the very, very short term. And then in the long term, like I know some of this stuff is going to crash and burn. And then prices we're going to see like huge retraces. I would say, I'll give you an example. And that's why I've been trying to like, when I do something, like walk people through my entire thought process because from that morality standpoint, like I'm worried about people out there just watching my videos. So I'm worried about people that I've never even interacted with, never met in real life, but I feel like I have a moral obligation when I am talking about stuff to be as clear about stuff and the dangers of stuff as I possibly can be. And at the end of the day, what Pokemon is just cardboard. It is not inherent, like it, while in my opinion, if you navigate Pokemon correctly, I don't think Pokemon is inherently risky personally, but believe you me, like if you navigate Pokemon poorly and you make poor choices, Pokemon can be extremely, extremely risky. COVID and the pandemic, we saw that play out extremely, extremely on the highest of ends. We saw how poorly, if you navigated Pokemon wrong, it didn't pay out. You think about Sword and Shield. You think about how everyone likes to talk about Sword and Shield now. How Sword and Shield, how everything is doing so great. Everybody has made so much money. Oh, look at all the sealed product you can buy. Like, oh, you did so well. Make no mistake about it. The amount of money that some people must have lost, collecting Sword and Shield products has to be astronomical. People are sitting there back and they go, what the hell is PK talking about? Sword and Shield's doing phenomenal. Doing phenomenal? Why don't you look at all-time high sales of the Charizard VMAX from Darkness Ablaze? Look at the all-time high sales of that in a PSA 10. But then I challenge you one more. Why don't you look at all-time high sales in a PSA 9? PSA 9, you'll be lucky to sell that baby for $20, $25 right now in a PSA 9. Why don't you go look at all-time high sales? Why don't you go look at all-time high sales of Darkness Ablaze's ETBs? Why don't you go look at Vivid Voltage, all-time high sales of booster boxes at $280? Why don't you go look at the Pikachu Hyper Rare from Vivid Voltage? Why don't you go look at the all-time high sale of that card in a PSA 10? Why don't you go look at all-time high sales of Battle Styles booster boxes at 160, 170? Why don't you go look at Chillin' Rain booster boxes at all-time high sales at 170? Why don't you go look at Shining Fates ETBs selling for a pre-order at $130? Go look at all that shit and tell me that, there's not dangers that it's involved in that. And that's the problem. There's so many dangers in Pokemon, Go look at all-time high sales of, a lot of chase cards. And then the problem is at the highs, there's always a buyer at those. So that's the morality I face on the channel, is when I see that stuff happening. It's like, and, there was a crazy thing that happened. There was a lot of people who got a lot of shit during the crazy hype because people were saying, Pokemon, especially modern product, was not investable. And it's really, really, really easy to go back and say, look at this person. He didn't say modern Pokemon was investable at end of 2020, early 2021. Look at how wrong he was. But you gotta put yourself in the moment. When you put yourself in the moment, you put yourself at $280 Vivid Voltage booster boxes. You put yourself at multiple selling in the hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for the PSA 10 VMAX Charizard, for the Darkness Ablaze $123 ETBs. When you're saying modern Pokemon is not investable, you're talking about that shit at the moment, in the time. But that's where people will then go back. Now they'll play Monday morning quarterback because they'll quote today's prices. And it's it's that unfair thing that it's just the people that were saying, I was saying it, do not buy fucking Rainbow Rare, Chunkachu, Pikachu. I got one in front of me somewhere. I think I have a Pikachu in front of me. Don't. Maybe I don't. I don't think I have a raw one. Do I have one? Oh, no, I usually have all kinds of cards in front of me. I don't think I have that. Maybe it's in a grading pile somewhere. But, it's some of these cards, it's don't buy them at the all-time highs. But I just told you I have, maybe I don't have it in front of me. I just told you I had a Rainbow Rare Pikachu VMAX that I plan on grading. Because now, I think the market has drastically changed for those, and those cards might actually be worth it to send now. I don't know where that card is. I don't know. I have one somewhere. But, that's the thing. It's because now things have changed. But it goes back to the morality thing. It's just, but at the same time, when I was saying, Pokemon wasn't investable for modern, a lot of other people were at these crazy high prices. And sure, history, believe it or not, proved us all extremely correct for stuff like that. But, people only quote it now, it's just bullshit. But then a lot of people are saying to sell a lot of this stuff. And you got to keep in mind, when you're telling people to sell at, the highs, you look really bad when stuff keeps going up. you don't know how much stuff's going to keep going up, because the problem is, at the end of the day, some stuff went up and never retraced. Other stuff went way up, retraced super, super hard. So people would just always like be picky and choosy. But the problem is in the morality aspect, is even when stuff was going at crazy highs, I still saw good buying opportunities in a lot of areas of the market, because I still thought a lot of the market was super, super undervalued. But like, that's where the morality for a lot of the stuff I did, and like some of the times I don't want to make videos, is because it's really hard to do that. It's where you're actively telling people to sell some stuff because you think stuff is super undervalued, but then at the same exact time trying to tell people to buy stuff because there's areas of the hobby where you think are extremely undervalued. Like, that is a tough, tough conversation to have. And that's where like you really run into a lot of that morality type of issues. It's just like, how do you tell people to sell one thing, and how do you tell people to buy another? What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong about both? What if you tell somebody to, you know, sell the one thing that keeps going up? And what if you tell them to buy the thing that once they buy it then starts to go down? And it's tough. It's that morality thing, and it's a conversation a lot of people, like, I don't know, they skirt against. But it goes back to now, the whole thing going on with, like what Twice Baked Jake did, his video. And I think Opossum Bud had a good call out for it. And I, I run into a lot of issues too. Is I have a lot of topics that are constantly going through my brain at all times, especially when it comes to Pokemon. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think if I wanted to, I can make a video talking about Pokemon 7 days a week. I mean that. Now, are they going to be 2 hour long rants, 2 hour long lives? They're not going to be. But every single day, there's some card or some subset or some set that runs through my head, and I'm just breaking it down in the most ridiculous way. Like, went on a weird, like, I'm not even gonna say the set, but I went on like a weird, like, nostalgia set trip of a set that I wasn't even really around in the hobby for, where like I recently just picked up a bunch of cards from a set. But like, I could do that. Now, I don't know if people would actually like that content, but I could do it. And the problem is when I start to get like a thought in my brain too, is all my other thoughts like kind of get pushed out of the way, and like that one main thought just becomes my priority. And this whole morality and Pokemon thing, it pushed out a lot of the other thoughts I was having, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do another morality in 2024, because if this morality and Pokemon video strikes up another morality and Pokemon debate, and we're just gonna, like, when we've already kind of washed our hands of the morality and Pokemon debate after 2020 and 2021, going after the scalper and the resealer, and going after the LGS, and going after, the flipper, and all the shit that was just brought up. It's like, do you want to bring this back up in 2024? And the problem is too, is it needs to get said. And when it comes to morality and it comes to like all this shit, at the end of the day, everybody eventually will show their true colors. They will show you, given enough time, every single person will show their true colors. And they'll really show you like what they're in this hobby for and what their overarching plans are. Now, some people are more transparent than other people, and the question is, how much do you want to like monetize what you do in this hobby? And it's a tough, tough morality. And then there's people in there who, when their true colors do show, like Cool Train Ryan did a great job of like, exposing people. Like, I'll see, this is gonna be a hot take, but I'll just say it because I don't fucking care at this point. But like the whole Mystic Rip stuff, what happened there? Like, what Mystic Rip's like potential goal is in this hobby. And it seems, in my opinion, that Mystic Rip's fucking sole intention in this hobby is to extract as much possible money as he can. Like, and it comes very, very apparent Like the people that are just absolutely doing everything in their ability to extract. And the problem is too is, how are you going to get there? You're going to go after a certain clientele. And when I say a certain clientele, you're going to go after a certain person that you could, in my opinion, like easily, sadly take advantage of when it comes to selling product, because the person that is buying that product, in my opinion, just doesn't really understand what they're getting into. They don't understand that ultimate, like, mystery. They don't understand, like, the true market value of stuff. They don't know how to shop around. They don't know how to find the best buys. And they don't know how to find their best deals. And they're going to flock to the people that they think know what they're talking about. And they're going to flock to the people that they think have their best interest in mind. And the problem is the people that have their best interest in mind, in my opinion, are not normally the people that are just trying to sell product to them nonstop and trying to extract maximum amounts of money. That's the problem. You know, it's a morality thing. You're in life, you're just constantly like faced with this. Like that's one of the things, that's why I always try to like stay away from that stuff. Like how many pack breaks have I had on my channel? Zero. How many do I have planned in the future? Zero. You know? How many times have I streamed on Whatnot? Zero. How many times have I streamed on Drip? Zero. How many times have I streamed on TikTok? Zero. And it's that morality thing. It's a constant battle. I'm going to let you in on a secret that's not a secret. In Pokemon, especially for in 2020, 2021, when it came to extracting money from this hobby, there was so much money that could and was, and it still is in a way, being extracted from this hobby. The dollar amounts were kind of make you like, in a way, like puke in your mouth a little bit. They were so high, what people were doing. And the craziest part of it all is people felt that they could not get enough of it. It was like watching, almost, and it's sad to say, and it's Pokemon, but it was almost like watching like what I imagine a drug addict would be like, trying to get their next fix. Like the people that were just constantly, chasing that thing that was never going to come. And listen, I told you at the beginning of this video. This video was not going to be for everybody. If you did not watch the beginning of this video, thoughts and prayers, T's and P's to you, because I warned everybody. This isn't going to be a video for everybody. It was going to tackle a lot of like tough conversations. And at the end of the day, and this is a problem. Some people are there's a couple people you're going to meet in your life. One, you'll never meet the person that says they don't know because they know everything. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not know what the answer to like the topic of this video is, the morality in Pokemon. I don't have like a simple answer for you. It works out to be everybody has to make their own decisions, but you can't also like play the let's pretend like we don't want to protect people either. Like you got to protect people, you have to let people know when, shit's afoul, when something's not right, or when people are just blatantly like manipulating their audience or leaving out the big obvious elephant in the room, like the whole twice baked Jake thing. Listen, I'm gonna call it what I see it, how I see it. In my opinion, is you say you now understand pack breaks, but you now understand it, in my opinion, because you're getting a huge payday. You just gotta fucking admit it. Just don't be afraid to admit it. Like it's not a bad thing. All right. Anyways, I'm going to now go to the chat. Hopefully it will let me scroll all the way up to the top. It didn't. All right. Graves says, this is why we tune in. So sorry, it didn't load all the way to the top. But real quick shout out to all the new members. And special shout out again to Drew, I appreciate all the channel memberships. Uh, so let's see. So Jared said they gotta feed their families. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing too, and I guess that's another questionable morality thing too. Is for me, Pokemon is not my job. It's something I've mentioned on, God, I don't even know how many videos. I've made it very clear. I, Pokemon for me is not a business. Whether people think it's a business for me or not, it's not. And I have like another income stream, which is my main income stream, which is my job, and something that I'm very proud of, and something I work really hard to get to, and I feel I am well compensated for the work that I do at the job that I do. So, this is not my main source of income. But now, what Jared just said is they got to feed their families. When you do start to bring into that thought process, and it's like, okay, well, now what if Pokemon is your main source of income? What if it is your full time job? And now you got to, put food on the table. And then the morality that gets brought into that question, because now, when it comes to people's family, when it comes to providing food on the table, when it comes time to like actually provide, then it comes to like the conversation you could ask people. If you were it like goes back and you think of like, God, I am thinking like the movie Aladdin. Yeah, we just brought a Disney reference into it, but it's like stealing a loaf of bread. If you were hungry, if your family was hungry, would you steal a loaf of bread? If that meant the difference of your kids living or your kids dying. I'd say most people out there watching this video, if it was the duality of do the right thing and not steal that loaf of bread and your children die, or do the wrong thing from a morality standpoint, which is stealing, but from like an internal reasonality of you steal that loaf of bread, it will feed your kids and it's going to keep your kids alive. There's a lot of people are going to do the things that are maybe by, the law is immoral, which is stealing, but from like wherever their personal morality now exists, it's the right thing. And so when it comes to people got to feed their family, when the money starts to dry up, people will be more enticed or more willing to do things that are probably like maybe morality is a bad word, but ethically wrong, which is, stealing, robbing, cheating, a lot of the things that we've seen happen on whatnot in the past. And so then, when people's reasonality is to it, the same way as somebody said, well, I stole that loaf of bread to feed my kids so they didn't die. The same way as people are now going to say, well, I rigged that bounty game, or I rigged that carnival game, or I repacked that pack, or I did this because now it's I have to put food on the table for my kids because I have a family to feed. There's a morality like that goes on there too, and it's easy in my position to say like I would never do that because that's not my main source of income. But then it's the question like Jared brought up, it's like they got to feed their families. So then, all the morality that goes into that, and then people will find one of the things you will find the same in this hobby is the same ways you'll find in real life is people will justify terrible actions. You know, they'll just find ways to justify it. That's what it boils down to. Um, so Fresh Tat says Twice Baked Jake can break on YouTube without a rebuild and a follow him, but get your bag. So yeah, in my opinion, Twice Baked Jake got a huge contract from Whatnot. It's a he'll never be transparent with you. You'll never know like the dollar amount, but I bet you it was big. It was definitely all right. So you want my honest opinion? What I think, in my opinion, what Twice Baked Jake's contract was to be a streamer on Whatnot. And again, this is all my opinion. This is just based off of my opinion. I don't know Twice Baked Jake. I don't know what his contract was. But if I had to take a guess, his contract was he's going to have to. So there's going to be a couple things in his contract. There's going to be probably a couple caveats. One, he has to mention that he's going to go live on his social media platforms. So whether that means he has a Twitter account, whether that means he has an Instagram account, whether that means he has a YouTube account. So he'll put a community post or he'll make a video. He'll let you know when he is going live on Whatnot. and that will be part of his contractual obligation that he'll have to do that. He'll probably sign like a 1 year streaming deal. Knowing Twice Baked Jake, he probably didn't do like, he's not obligated to stream like, once a week or twice a week, but he was probably obligated to like stream a couple times throughout the year. And I would say dollar amount to do a 1 year contract through Whatnot. Twice Baked Jake has like 100,000+ subscribers, super well known name. If I had to take a guess, in my opinion, Twice Baked Jake's contract he signed with Whatnot. Oh, and they're going to provide a lot of his product, and he's still going to have the ability to sell his own stuff. But if I had to take a guess, for a 1 year streaming deal with not having to actually stream a lot of days, between $35,000 to $50,000. I think that is probably the contract he signed. Oh, and probably his seller fees are probably zero at the beginning. They'll definitely like upgrade all his streams, so they'll all be like advertised streams. Probably like maybe leaning more towards like $40,000 for like a year contract is probably what he made. That's a lot of money. For some people, that's not a lot of money. That's probably a lot of money, like for him. And very little like contractual obligations through that. He probably made out really, really well. Because, yeah, you have to post that he's, whether it's a community update or on his Twitter, just mention that he's going live. He's probably getting a huge kickback for every single person. His code, join Whatnot, use my code. I don't know what that is. I've heard people mention numbers like $25, but for some people, I bet you that number's a lot higher. But for every new person that signs up, $25+ minimum. At a minimum, it's probably $25 in my opinion. But yeah, $35,000 to $50,000 for a year contract easily. 0% seller fees too for a while. And then probably after that, he's going to have some pretty sweet seller fees too. Be nice. Probably making a lot of money. Good. Hey. Hate the player, I guess. Hate the game. Hate them both. I don't know. So, Brother Mains used to be Uncle. Good to see you, buddy. Made it to alive. So Alex in Silverland said, people commented on Rattle's lawsuit video saying they were broke and would donate to Rattle when they got paid, and Rattle's response with a prayer. That seems more questionable than pack breaking. Yeah. Hey, listen. The problem is stuff like that. It's like people just don't have to. You don't have to donate money. Don't donate money if you don't have it. And I know for a fact, 100% fact, that Rattle on a lot of his videos literally like took a couple minutes out of his way before he talked about like donating money, saying if you do not have the money, do not feel like you're obligated to donate the money. So like that's the thing. Rattle is going to be super transparent when it comes to shit like that. But I think that's a noble cause to, donate money to Rattle's lawsuit. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, what is Rattle's lawsuit against Sean Baskett? What does it boil down to? It's like freedom of speech. It's being able to say that you see something going on wrong. It's the same way as what I did in this video. I see something that I don't like. I would like to address that. Whether that's in a video, and I have the ability where I'll be able to address it in this video and then move on from it. Because I think it's important, but you can't be afraid to talk, to say, hey, I'm seeing this stuff happen, like the stuff that happened with Rattle and Sean Baskett, like, all the things that were brought against Sean. And then Rattle on multiple occasions, like, offered up to Sean, like, hey, man, if you feel like the shit I'm saying about you is not true, you're welcome on this channel. Please, you're welcome to come on this channel. And if there's anything I'm saying about you is incorrect, come on, defend yourself. Call me a fucking asshole for all I care, but, defend yourself and tell me all the things that I am saying are wrong. And that never happened. A lot of people will make the arguments and stuff and whatever. Um, let's see. Last Pack Magic Carp said, PK, how do I become a member? I'm not sure. I think it's hard on, I don't know. Just not sure. Uh, let's see. So Ernie, again, got to the point where we became a channel membership. Appreciate you. Jimmy Blake said, PK selling sealed packs on Whatnot. Could anything be more suspicious? Yeah. But just like I told you, if I would never sell on Whatnot, but man, if I ever got my opportunity on eBay Live, I'm coming after you. Old Nicky, old school Pokemon. Coming after you, Nick. If I ever get my opportunity. Because I think, like I told you. Or, sorry, did I say eBay? I meant eBay. I love eBay. Not Not even fucking sponsored by eBay. eBay, slide into my DMs. What are you doing? But, I like, there's some platforms I like because I think they're doing it like the right way. But I will tell you right now, the same way as I like eBay, if the second eBay starts to do like shady stuff, or the second, like one of the reasons I like eBay is because it doesn't seem that they have any of those carnival games going on the eBay Live. I feel like they have a really good iron fist on what's going on. It doesn't appear that they're letting a lot of sellers on. I have no fucking clue like what that process is like. I don't even know how people would have to go about stuff like that, but it looks like they're being pretty tight knit with who they're allowing on. It doesn't seem like they're just letting the platform be flooded with a lot of people. And the people that are going on there, like, are really, really legit sellers right now. And they have super good names in the hobby. And, like, that stuff I like. I like the thought of that. Like, I like the thought that eBay is one, not going to let it turn into a casino, and number two, they're vesting the people that are selling at it, and right now they're doing a great job because you look at the people, you look at Weedle Warehouse, great dude, you look at Nick, old school Pokemon, great dude, you look at all the people that are allowed to sell on eBay Live, it's like eBay's doing it right. Now, some people can make the argument that they're rolling things out too slow because they're not having more sellers, but like, no, it seems like they're like working out all like the little kinks and the issues that are going on with the platform before they open it up. And to be honest with you, with eBay Live, there's very, very little bit of like even advertising that goes on for the eBay Live right now. And what I mean by that is even on the homepage, in order to find the eBay Live through the app, like you kind of have to know where you're looking. It kind of, in a way, is very incognito and it camouflages itself in the app. But that's because eBay hasn't really gone and done like their big advertising campaign. When it comes time and eBay is ready to roll out eBay Live and they're ready to roll it out in a big way, meaning they figured out all the issues that they had. All these guys, your Nick Old School Pokemons and your Weedles in the warehouse, those guys, they are the definition. These guys are the canary in the coal mine for eBay Live right now. They're going through all the hurdles right now, and they're figuring out all the problems that are with that platform on the back end. Like, I have no clue, but I'm sure Nick probably makes videos talking about some of this stuff. Is like, there's going to be issues, with selling, and there's going to be problems with the platform and all the back end stuff. And if these guys are figuring out all that stuff for eBay right now, and in the future, when eBay is ready to actually roll out eBay Live, my opinion, goodbye Whatnot. Goodbye Drip. Does anybody even go on Drip right now? But like any of these other live streaming platforms, forget about it. They're going to be meaningless. And it's just going to be eBay will be king. eBay's just doing too much. They're too much of a like just monster. So when I sold I'll give you an example just for the numbers, and Z&G Emporium posted them the other day, but I I did a screenshot to James. So when I sold my Charizard Classic Collection, I sold a Charizard. It sold for $425. At the time, it was one of the highest sales in a PSA 10. It was first to market. I paid $40 to grade it, got it back real quick, put it on a 7-day auction, ended up selling for $425. That same Charizard from the Classic Collection is probably selling for like whatever, $200 right now. So I got a huge premium for being first to market. That play ended up working out great, made hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, worked out super, super well for me. All those cards I graded, and then even the cards I graded after the fact, but doesn't matter. At the time, that auction, it was a 7-day auction. It was a promoted auction, so I had to pay $2.99 to promote a 7-day auction. And the beautiful thing about promoting auctions is no matter what it sells for, you don't pay like a final value percentage. You just pay that one time initial, $2.99 for a 7-day auction, $1.99 if it's a 3-day auction. For a 10-day auction, I forget what it is. But either way, my I looked at the analytics for that. So for that one listing, it got like 95,000 views. So 95,000 views for me is a pretty lot. There's probably a lot of people right now who sell a lot of stuff on eBay and they don't even get close to 95,000 views on a single listing. Mine was a promoted listing. It was one of the very few first to market plays. 7-day auction, got 95,000 views. That was a lot of views for one item. James from Z&G Emporium posted his views that he gets like throughout all his items over the course of a month, and I think it was like 94 million views. So like think about that. I just told you I got 95,000 views on one 7-day listing. James has like 94 million views across, yeah, sure, he has thousands of items, multiple weeks, but still 94 million views. I promise you there is nobody in the world that gets even close to the amount of foot traffic that eBay has. So if I'm getting 95,000 views on one 7-day listing, and James from Z&G Emporium is posting, the amount of views he gets on his listings over the course of a month at greater than 90 million views. When eBay's ready to actually roll out eBay Live and do advertising for it, forget about it. Like, I just told you I had a 7-day listing that had 95,000 views. What the fuck is eBay Live going to look like with the sellers if you have 100,000 people rolling in and out of these lives? Like, I tell you, that's a morality thing. But this is stuff I think about. I'm not going to shy away from this stuff. I'm not going to tell you, like, I'm not thinking about this stuff. You bet your ass I'm thinking about this stuff. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm going to be transparent with you guys. Like, this is the stuff I'm thinking of. Shout out to eBay again. eBay, this video is not sponsored by eBay. eBay, feel free to slide in my DMs anytime you want. You want another eBay Live seller? You got me. Morality. We'll do the morality streams of how, and then I'll call it PK Sells Out to eBay Live. That will be the name of that stream. Put it on your calendar. I don't know when it's going to happen. Fingers crossed it happens one day, but you can put it on your calendar. I will be very transparent. The title of the video will be PK Sells Out to eBay Live. And I will not be going on making a video like Twice Baked Jake going, I now understand pack breaking, guys. I get it. It's now because everybody just likes it. They like other people open it. I'll be like, no, guys, guess what? Payday's finally here. Everybody's got a price. PK's got a price. I don't know what that price is. It's eBay Live. That's the price. So Get Your Ball says, for a scam not to survive in the market today, they have to throw tons of money at mid to low tier streamers like Twice Baked Jake, and if people don't accept the platform, will die. Yeah, there is probably the danger of Whatnot dying. Like, there's only going to be the Whatnot people who truly know, like, what the back end, like, numbers are. But I'm sure after all the shit that happened with Blake's Break and all the constant, Whatnot scamming type videos that have been putting out, pushed a lot of people away from that app. And I'm sure a lot of people deleted that app off of their phone because of all the shit that was going on, because of all this sketchy things. And I'm sure Whatnot can see those dollar amounts. And I know Whatnot does a lot of things. They do vintage clothes and all kinds. I don't even know what else they do. They all do all kinds of shit. But Pokemon was a big part of that business. It was one of the, fundamentals early on of Whatnot as a streaming platform. So to see a large chunk of their business really kind of go away, yeah, I get it. Like, that's why I said when I did my unbiased take, I can see it. If Whatnot corporate was looking there and be like, all right, guys, we're losing all these people. We're not making nearly as much money as we used to be. How do we bring that money back? And people are like, well, you got to bring people from the Pokemon community that have followers. And then hopefully that those people with their names, those followers will come along. And then for every however many followers they could bring along with them, hopefully some of them stay. And then what if our goal has to be? We now have to just extract money from those followers. I promise you, in my opinion, like, that's the thought Whatnot's going through. It's when you're going on that platform, they're looking at you as just somebody they want to extract money from. They want to milk you for every penny you're worth. They want to just hold you upside down and just shake you and see what falls out of your pockets. In my opinion, again, this is all my opinion. It's always my opinion. Old Card Shop said, I gladly sell on Whatnot for zero fees. Yeah. He says, I don't need 100 Paldean Fates pack to give to his viewers either. Yeah. Yeah. Number one mod, Drew. Appreciate you, bud. Oh, and Drew was able to get Magikarp membership. Glad you got a membership. You guys could drop some emotes in the chat right now. So, Cam Hamlet Hobby says, you don't need to scam. You can sell packs at break even just for the fun. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Not everyone wins, but people who can't afford a Moonbreon to hit one for the price of a pack is something they'll never forget. Cam, I think you got too much faith in people, man. It's something I talk about all the time. Anybody who's not new to this channel, you know there's one word I love. I love a lot of words, but there's one word I love above all others, and that is the word time. Because in my opinion, time is your most valuable resource. It's not money, it's not anything. And you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to, time's something you never get back. It is a finite resource in your life. And for anybody to go on streaming on platforms, opening up packs for free, that's not a very good use of their time. And I don't think that there's a lot of people wasting their time opening up packs for break evens. And I don't think anybody on Whatnot, their intention is, I want to be a Whatnot streamer so I can make no money and waste a bunch of time and do a lot of work and ship out a lot of packages and deal with returns and deal with, people saying I scammed them and putting my reputation on the line and the potential of getting into vintage stuff and open a potentially resealed stuff or repack stuff or all the issues that come with streaming. It's not a very good use for people's time. So even though you think opening packs is just for fun, I think all the back end stuff, that's not possible. So Freddie Z says, why would you be afraid to say you're getting paid to open Pokemon? I would advertise that and think most people would do if presented the opportunity. When it comes to money in this hobby, while we talk about money a lot in this channel, this little area of YouTube, trust me, there's a lot of people talk about money. Shout out to Dan Catchmall Collectibles. My man Dan can't make it through a video without talking about taxes. When you get down this far in the rabbit hole, there's conversations that are had. Money is something that is brought up all the time. In the rest of the Pokemon sphere, when it comes to your bigger channels, money is very, very taboo. You don't see money get brought up nearly at all. And if you do see money get brought up, it's maybe they'll quote PSA 10 prices, or they'll quote PSA 9 prices, or they'll be open up a pack and you'll see the dollar amount pop up on the screen. That is usually the extent of money being talked about in this hobby, because money is taboo and people aren't gonna so why would people not want to talk about that? I think it's just, in a way, it's still taboo. It's like the argument, there's a lot of studies of whether or not parents should talk to their kids about how much money the parents make. Should you tell your kids how much money you make, or is that still taboo? But why is that important? Because you know how many people go to college, or first of all, they go to high school, then they graduate high school and they know nothing about money. They know nothing about compound interest. They know nothing about investments. They know nothing about retirements. They know nothing. They don't know the difference between a traditional IRA versus a Roth IRA versus an annuity versus a money market account versus, single stocks versus international funds, which is funds that mimic the S&P 500, versus small cap versus large cap. They can't even balance their checkbook. They don't know the difference between a normal savings account versus money market accounts. They don't understand interest rates. They don't understand credit card debt. They don't understand student loans. They don't understand federal loans versus private loans versus like scummy shit like Parent Plus loans. They don't understand any of this stuff. And a lot of that, like when people graduate high school or even sometimes people graduating college, don't know differences between all this shit. And it's because there's no financial literacy that was usually taught by the parents. Because if you're looking to go to your high school like teachers, they're not going to talk about any of that stuff. There's just too many people that are very like financially illiterate when they leave high school, and it just sets them up on like a very poor path in the future. But then it's that argument of like, should parents talk about money with their kids more? Should you sit your kids down, you know? I watched a video just the other day, like, I don't know, it's too much of a tangent, but like one of Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, he wasn't like the creator of McDonald's, but he's the founder. He was in the movie, played by Michael Keaton. Great movie. But one of his nephews talks about, like when he was growing up, he was gifted a lot of McDonald's shares from his grandparents, who his grandmother was Ray Kroc's sister. So she ended up having like a bunch of McDonald's stock, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. He was gifted a lot of stuff because if you gift stock, you're allowed to gift away a certain amount of stock. So when you die, ideally, a lot of that stuff is going to get taxed, but then it comes into inheritance taxes and blah, 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 all that stuff. But either way, he was talking about McDonald's as one of the best dividend stocks in history, and every single year that McDonald's has ever, and I could be wrong on this, you could probably fact check me, but every single year that McDonald's has issued a dividend, the dividend has gone up every single year that McDonald's has ever put out a dividend. And, McDonald's also has had crazy amount of stock splits. He's talking about growing up, his parents would, every time he would get his stock statement and he would get his dividend check, he would have to sign for it, and his parents would like talk through the financials with him of like, hey, this is your stock, this is how much dividends you are getting, this is how much money you have in stock. And he said he's never sold any of his McDonald's stock even to this day, and he started getting that shit in like the 60s before McDonald's technically went public, and then the stock went crazy and the dude's like a multi-millionaire. But like one of the things his parents always did was just sit down and like explain to him just dividends. And there's a lot of parents don't do that because in a way it's very taboo. And it's the same thing to your question where in Pokemon, a lot of bigger YouTube channels, they don't talk about the dollar amounts because it is still in a way taboo. You know, that's why you'll still see, you know, I don't like to buy packs, to be honest with you, if they cost more than $2.50. Like, we're in a crazy spot in the Pokemon hobby right now where we look at packs for greater than $2.50 and we don't want to buy it. You can walk into some stores. I think I walked into, like, what is it, Hobby Lobby or whatever. I walked in the other day and I just saw Pokemon packs hanging on the shelf on, like, blisters. They were like $7.99. And I looked at those and I'm like, there's nobody's going to buy $7.99, Paldi or Scarlet and Violet base packs. But then when you look at the hanger of all the packs hanging there, they're half gone. So there's a bunch of people there that are still buying packs. So it's just, we talk about the money, but the average consumer doesn't want to hear about the money. They just want to go to Hobby Lobby and buy $7.99 Scarlet and Violet base sleeve blister packs, So is Cam a whatnot streamer says, it's why people pay 5 times for a beer at the bar. The experience. That's, I've heard that argument all the time. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the argument, right? It's like people always would just, find that excuse. It's like the whole bar argument, and I guess that's the argument you want to bring up. It's just, the problem is, and I'm going to tell you the problem right now with the beer argument. So, when the person walks in to a bar and buys a beer, they don't buy that beer as an investment. They don't care what the return. I mean, sure, I guess if you buy a beer, you're going to get a little buzz, as those white blood cells deposit that alcohol on your brain, it's going to help get you drunk, right? So there's like a little bit of an investment there, but there's no return on that investment. Now, with these breakers, how many times have you been in a live stream where somebody has bought a pack and then they talk about, how do I grade these cards? What's the best way to sell these cards? Or more importantly, when you're in a break and you look in the live chat and people say, what is the most expensive card in the set? And that always scared me the most. It's because, especially I've seen this on vintage breaks. I've seen this on PokeRev's channel when he's opening up a vintage box. I've looked at the chat and I've seen people that are, they'll ask two questions back to back. The first question they'll say is, how do I buy a pack? And the second question they'll ask is, what's the most expensive card in the set? Meaning, they're willing to spend, a vintage pack is, especially on a PokeRev break, is hundreds of dollars most of the time. So they're willing to spend hundreds of dollars. And they don't even know what the best card in the set is. They don't even know what the hit is. But then they'll ask, what is the dollar amount? Because they will get into these packs. They won't do it for what you mentioned, they won't do it for the social experience. They will do it because they still are doing it as an investment, because they're still looking at it as a way to make money. And in my opinion, that is the detriment. That is the downfall with that thought process, where you could go into the beer, you go in there willingly knowing that you don't really get much out of this, and that there is no return on this investment. People will get into a break with the intention and the thought process of, this is a financial decision, that they're going to potentially make money on this, or this is going to be something that they're going to grade and hopefully make money in the future. And that's the problem. Let's see. Sword and Shield Era said TikTok is suspect. TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. Nothing I really nothing I really want to entertain. So Aiden M says, I just don't understand the morality bashing when 95% of the people in the chat are making money from Pokemon too. A lot of holier than thou energy. That's the shit listen, Aiden. If you just tuning in now, I just talked about that for hours. That mental debate you're going in, and the mental debate that I go in every time. Let's see. So Sword and Shield Air said mystery packs are a scam. A lot of times mystery packs are a scam. There's very few mystery packs that are even close to not a scam, but there's some that are at least, like, I'll give PokeRev credit, and I've gave him credit like straight to his face. I've said it to him. At least the one thing PokeRev packs have going for it is at least you know your odds. Now, your odds of pulling a PokeRev like gold pack, which is a mystery pack, is 1 out of 25. So that means if you bought 100 of those mystery packs, your chance of pulling a gold pack is 4%. So you have a 4% chance of pulling that, one of those mystery packs. But at least he gives the odds, There's a lot of people who just do the mystery pack thing, and they're not even giving odds on this shit. And, that's the scary stuff. It's, one, you don't know what your possible ceiling is on a lot of this stuff. At least if you know what the ceiling is, if you have a chance. And then there's the morality aspect of it, whether people are doing stuff on the level or they're not. Like the whole Sean Basket stuff with the Omega mystery packs. One of the things that, Rattle has talked about, and I've brought up in the past too, which in my opinion seems extremely sketchy and doesn't make sense why somebody would do this. But a way an Omega mystery pack should work is, there's however many of those mystery packs exist, there's that Chase Charizard, that Shadowless First Edition Charizard in a CGC 10. So I do believe that card exists in some mystery packs somewheres. Now, the question I always had is, like Sean Bassett, he was, from what I understand, the information that I was given by Rattle is that Sean would buy some of his own mystery packs on some of these streams. The thing I never could understand is, why would you buy that pack? Because if you buy that pack, your odds of pulling that chase cards, while they're still probably percentage wise very low, because there's only obviously one first edition Charizard in CGC 10, ideally your odds of pulling that Charizard is the same as if I bought one of those mystery packs or you at home bought one of those mystery packs. His odds of pulling that is the exact same odds as me or you. If he bought one pack, I bought one pack, you bought one pack, all our odds should be exactly the same of pulling that Chase Charizard. What I never understood is why he would put himself in that position where he could potentially pull that Charizard, because now imagine if he did pull that Charizard. You know, all the speculation videos that would come out would run rampant. Just imagine the creator or owner, I'm not exactly sure, don't quote me on this. I think he's the creator owner of Omega Mystery Packs, or at least one of the partners, we can say that. Can you imagine one of the partners of Omega Mystery Packs pulls the base set Charizard first edition in the CGC 10? The hit of that entire product is pulled by one of the partners or one of the owners? I never ever could understand that. And then you bring into the morality thing and the things that have been brought up and the questions of the what if. Can't prove any of this stuff. This would all be speculation. But then the speculation and then the question needs to be, well, what if you... they're supposed to not know where that first edition Charizard exists. But if they did know where it exists, then they wouldn't be afraid to buy that pack. And they wouldn't be afraid to put themselves in that position. Which that is like the morality issue of it. Where is it the morality, and is it ethical to buy your own product? That is the question. And that is not for me to decide. That is for you at home to decide. But I think it's really, really questionable, in my opinion, why you would put yourself in that position in the first place. It's just I can't even imagine a scenario in which I make a mystery product and it has one chase thing in it, and I'm like, all right guys, I made 10 of these mystery things, I'm going to sell 9 of them, I'm going to save one of them and I'm going to open it myself. I sell the 9, everybody opens theirs up, nobody gets a chase. I go, okay guys, this is the last one left of my 10 mystery packs I made. Let me now open. This is my personal one that I decide to save. Open it up. Oh, look at that. I pulled the chase. Oh, sorry guys. Hey, sucks to be you, but just so you know, I did this all legit. You think I want to do that? That sounds terrible from my standpoint. If I ever did that and had that exact situation play out, people would be like, PK, what the fuck did just happen? You tell me you sold 9 of your mystery packs and you decide to keep one? And you opened it on a live stream? And you just pulled your hit? What just happened? And then I could go until I was blue in the face, be like, listen guys, I had no fucking clue where this was. I don't know. I just kept one. I'm so sorry. I could apologize. And people would be like, PK is the biggest fucking scammer in the world. And you know what? In my opinion, I think that would be a fair assessment if that exact situation played out. But I don't have to worry about that exact situation ever playing out. And the reason I never have to worry about that situation playing out is because I would never put myself in that position in the first place. So it's it's the morality thing. There's a lot of morality questions that should be asked in this hobby. People are saying a lot of people like to buy those Pokemans. Yes, the Pokemans. Womb Raider said, PK, you would hate Twitch. Is Twitch just a cesspool of sellers? Listen, my issue is I don't like to take advantage of people, especially take advantage of your viewers and your listeners. Because it almost, why, again, it's that dirty, dirty word, community. Why build a community just to extract maximum money from them. Like, why do that? Like, and I guess you know what I think I finally figured out. I think my problem is there's so much money to be made in Pokemon that you don't have to, like, I don't know. It's tough. I don't think, yeah. I told you it wasn't an easy video, and that's why I'm glad I gave my warning at the beginning of this video. Like, this video is not going to be for everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, this is what usually happens. I make a morality in Pokemon 2024, and there will be, by the end of the week, there'll be 5 more videos talking about this. People talking about you'll get the live streamers will be talking about making videos on this. The platforms they sell on, they'll be justifying it. Just trust me. I promise you. This is why I was hesitant with making this video. This won't be the first. This won't be the last video on YouTube. People, this will just be the topic now of the week. Just like it just is how it is. People will justify their actions and they will make videos because that is just the way it is. Is Kame, are you just a huge seller, buddy? Let's see. So Donkus says, someone buys a 1K card. Are you guys checking their bank statements, seeing if they can actually afford it? What's the line of responsibility in this? So, no, I don't think you could check somebody's bank account, but if somebody were to buy a 1K card and they're like, hey, I want to buy this $1,000 card and I can't afford this right now, can you hold on to this card till next week? I would tell them, don't buy this card. So, while I can't check their bank account personally and like say, hey, are you putting this on a credit card and stuff? But if somebody were to ask me and put themselves in a position where I knew that it would be a financial burden for them, I'd be like, fuck yeah, don't buy this. So, Donkus, great question. And the answer is 100% I would not sell them that. So, I appreciate that question though. Yeah. So people are saying if people want to go on Whatnot and pay $90 for a $50 ETB, who are we to tell them no? It's their life and their money. I know. That's the title of the video. I feel like you guys are just kind of reaffirming it's the morality. It's like, what's the morality in that? I guess you guys don't really understand morality, like the definition of it. But it's like, is it legit or not? Let's see. So Aaron said Chillin' Rain at $175. Yeah, that is one of my best takes I've had. I made the video as I walked through the valley of the $79.95 booster box I fear no evil. That was a video where Chillin' Rain dropped below $80. It was the first time we saw a modern booster box in a very, very long time drop below $80. And I went out on a limb saying how I thought Chillin' Rain was a great buy. I went to see the famous, he's a big seller on eBay, P Football Pete. I drove to his shop in person. I talked to the guy Scott who runs that eBay account. I talked to him in person and literally just like picked his brain on why are these Chillin' Rain booster boxes below $80. And yeah, that was one of like my better takes in the hobby. Let's see. So, Get and Your Ball said, saying to not buy things at all-time highs 2 years post a global pandemic where the most hype for every TCG exploded is also a bit Monday morning quarterback. PK, what are you talking about? When you say that in the moment, that is not Monday morning quarterback. That is saying it in the now. There was a lot of people said don't buy modern Pokemon at the fucking all-time high, and those dudes got shit on by people for being like anti-modern. So I don't know what that comment was. It's not Monday morning quarterback when you're saying it in the time. It's it's being able to get your day at the end and saying you're right though. Let's see. Basic Trainer said, Mr. Basic Trainer, we got to get Basic Trainer on a live stream pretty soon. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Oh, I jumped all the way to the bottom. I want to see something real quick. I just want to see for some of these subscribers, some of these people chatting, I just want to do something. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the chat right now. Anybody that has a question, put a comment. I want to just see a few people. I want to see if these people are all just real accounts or not. Almost as if some people are just trolling. So if you guys have a question and you want them answered and I haven't answered them, and you want to challenge any of my thoughts, put in the comment right now, because I just changed it so channel subscribers with 3 hours or longer can send message. I want to see if these people are all just super, super brand new people that are just like in here to defend whatnot. Because I'm reading some of this stuff and like some of these comments are really, really questionable. So if you guys have been anti or you've been pro whatnot, and you think I am wrong on my takes, do me a favor. Type it down below right now, and I do want to see if any of those people came up. Because right now, I haven't seen anyone who has been pro whatnot. If you are pro whatnot right now, and you do believe that the opinions I had were incorrect, please let me know right now down in the chat. Because I want to see if you guys are like, maybe you're not technically bot accounts because you're probably real people. But I want to see if you guys are actually like subscribers of this channel, if you literally just came to defend whatnot. Let's see. Yeah, none of these people are talking anymore. I'm just going to have to start calling out some of these people by name, and I want to see if they comment. So, scrolling up. This is going to be interesting. This is just going to be for my own. So, get in your ball. Get in your ball. If you could do me a favor, comment down in the chat right now, and I will apologize to you. And then, Cam Hamill Hobby. Do me a favor, comment down in the chat right now. And if either one of you guys could chat right now, means you were subscribed to this channel for more than 3 hours and you're not a potential, like, whatnot shill, I will give you a special shout out on this channel, and I will say that I am extremely apologetic to you, and then I will compliment whatnot from now until the end of this video. If either one of those two people comment right now in this live chat, and I'll even do a giveaway. I will give away shit to people if either one of those guys comment, because I'm looking at what they wrote. It seems like they're whatnot shills, and nobody's commented yet. I don't know, guys. Thoughts? Are these whatnot shills? Is that a real thing? Are whatnot shills a real thing? Because now, if they haven't been subscribed to the channel, I mean, they could, in theory, be brand new to this channel and literally just found this channel today, and ironically had exactly the same thoughts as the other person and exactly the same type of... Come on, guys. I'm waiting for either one of those guys. I call them out by name. Either one of you guys, feel free to write down in the chat and tell me why whatnot was good again and how I was wrong, because it looks like they were not bots, but like not real people. All right. I think I did it long enough of calling those people out, asking them to type. They did not write. Yeah, it is what it is. But all right, guys, that was fun. So Drib Nor says, I think you're down a conspiracy mindset. I'm not down a conspiracy mindset. I'm asking these people who, the only people that were like super pro whatnot, to type in the chat. And ever since I asked that, it was like, that's all my chat was. And then once I put it to only channel subscribers of 3 hours or longer, all those messages just disappeared. So I don't know. Could be right. Could be wrong. Could be. All right, guys. As always, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Toodles. Love you. Bye bye. Like, subscribe, comment. See you later, whatnot shills. I'll see you down in the comment section of this video as we're done.